Welcome back to Homesteading with the Zimmermans, where each week we give you another episode of what's happening here on our Northeast Iowa 21-acre homestead. My husband Alvin and I have been married for 25 years, and we have 7 children. 5 of those children still live at home. Our oldest 2 are married and no longer live at home, so this means we also have 2 son-in-laws and 1 grandson so far. So on our 21-acre homestead, we seek to preserve the self-sufficient lifestyle of our old order Mennonite heritage for the next generation. We involve the children in every aspect of the homestead, from raising and harvesting our own meat, gardening and preserving to fill the family's larder, or preserving the dairy from the family milk cows, plus all the many other skills that develop the character and integrity and relationships of a family that seeks to bring glory and honor to their Heavenly Father. Hello everyone, we are one day away from our Easter celebration, or our Easter meal that we're going to have tomorrow on Good Friday as our family dinner. So if you watched Wednesday's video, you know that I've got my dinner rolls in the freezer. I baked my cakes and they're in the freezer. So today I am going to make the deviled eggs and I'm going to make the mashed potatoes. And both of those will be okay in the refrigerator. The deviled eggs are okay in the refrigerator for up to a week, and the mashed potatoes, I'll tell you more about those as I make them. So let's get started with the deviled eggs. A couple weeks ago, I did a video on my deviled eggs. So I will link that in the description because that will include the recipe. Okay, the other thing I'm getting started today is I'm going to start defrosting the pork loins that I want to make. So I'm going to make 2 because we like to slice the leftovers and just eat them on sandwiches or for leftovers. Okay, so the other week when I showed how I do my hard-boiled eggs so that they peel well, there was quite a few of you that said you don't actually have to crack them. You can just take a pin and poke a hole in the fat end, in the, the big end of the egg, and that is more consistent than trying to crack them. So let's do that today and see how that works. So thank you to everybody that assured me that you guys cannot see all the stains on my aprons. So I'm going to get these potatoes started cooking for my mashed potatoes. And that way, while the potatoes are cooking, I can work on the deviled eggs. So making your steps count in the kitchen is a huge life skill. While something else is cooking, you can be working on this. I've got the pork loins defrosting so that I can make the marinade for them. And yes, my potatoes, they want to be planted. They want to go into the soil, but I'm just going to take the sprouts off and we're going to use them to make mashed potatoes. So I'm going to leave most of the potatoes whole, but I'm going to cut just a few of the bigger ones to keep them all the same size so that they're all ready at the same time, so that my smaller ones aren't cooked to smithereens while my large ones are still hard in the center. So one very important step when you are making mashed potatoes is to start with cold water. If you start with hot water, the outside of the potato gets over soft before the inside is done. But starting with cold water helps them cook more in a uniform way, where they're all done at the same time, the outside and the inside of the potato. So I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of salt to my potatoes. So I'm not going to go really in depth with how I make my hard-boiled eggs, because I just recently shared a video with hard-boiled eggs, and I will link that one for you so that you can go watch that one next. So the potatoes are ready. So I'm going to strain all the water off of the potatoes. So next, I'm going to do a very important step when you're making mashed potatoes. And I'm going to put them back on the hot burner. Even though the burner's turned off, I'm going to put them back on the hot burner, cover them with a towel, and the lid. And this part, this steaming process, helps the potatoes release more of their starch, and it makes for a fluffier mashed potato and not so starchy. When you have too much starch in your potato, when you mash them, you'll get kind of a gluey potato. It'll be kind of sticky and tacky. But using this method will help the potatoes release more of their starch. So you just kind of let them steam like this, and the towel will absorb the steam, and that will also absorb some of the starch. Okay, so while my potatoes are steaming themselves back there, I'm going to work on the marinade for my pork loins. So I've got some melted bacon grease, and I added just enough olive oil to keep it from firming up when I put the loins in the refrigerator. So this is bacon grease and olive oil, and I'm just going to add a whole bunch of seasonings. So this is one of my new favorites, and it's garlic pepper, and it's by Redmond's Real Salt. Their link will be in the description for you. So I'm going to add a bunch of that because pork loves pepper. I'm going to add some rosemary. I'm going to add some parsley flakes, and then of course some Redmond's garlic salt, some coriander seeds, and then I'm going to add some paprika. You can really add anything you want. Also add some lemon pepper, and this too is from Redmond's. So I'm just going to taste that and see if it needs actual salt. Oh yeah, it needs salt. A teaspoon of salt to that marinade. So I couldn't find any bags big enough to put these pork loins in to marinate them, so we're just going to marinate them in a dish like this. And I will just come and turn them every couple hours. Okay, we are going to refrigerate these and gonna mash our potatoes. Okay, I'm ready to mash the potatoes, and I'm going to use my Bosch mixer from Nutrimel, and it will be linked in the description for you. My electricity just flickered. There's a thunderstorm happening outside. I hope I get these potatoes done. If the power's gonna go off, I hope I get the potatoes done first. Okay, so I let those potatoes sit for probably 8 minutes. So now we are gonna mash them. We're just gonna go on low for now. So at this point, you don't want to whip your potatoes. You just want to make them smooth. I don't need more salt. So I still have a little bit of potato chunks in there, so I'm just going to mix them for just a little longer. Okay. So in the description of this video, I'm going to link my refrigerator mashed potatoes recipe, right? I rarely, if ever, stick to that recipe 100%. I just kind of add what I want to add. But here's the thing. If you want to put these potatoes in the freezer or the refrigerator, you need to be conscious of adding fat, because fat is what helps your product, like these potatoes, come out of the refrigerator or the freezer with their texture integrity intact. At this point, you can put your mashed potatoes in the freezer if you want. They'll keep for a couple months in the freezer. I'm just going to put mine in the refrigerator because I want to serve them tomorrow. And that doesn't look like a whole lot of potatoes. You can also add a little milk. If you feel like your potatoes are too dry, you can add a little milk. I might do that tomorrow when I get them out to start heating them. I might mix in some milk. But for now, we're going to put them in the refrigerator and chill them. Okay, so other than washing all my dishes and cleaning up my stovetop, that's all that I am going to do today to prepare for our Easter meal. But I'll take you along tomorrow in bits and pieces and show you how I execute it to make it all work together, and probably show you a little bit of the Easter festivities and what games we play for the kids. All right, so it is Good Friday morning. The kids do not have school, and Kendrick and I are going to work on the filling for our 4-layer chocolate cake. I know the chocolate cake doesn't look like much, but it's this filling that takes it up to make it deluxe. So we've got our cream cheese in our mixer and 2/3 cup of brown sugar. Yep, that's good. Now you can start it again. Should I put the lid on. So next we need 2 cups of heavy whipping cream whipped, but I'm only gonna make 1 cup at a time. So Kendrick's gonna work on that. And then we're gonna make another cup. Should I get this? The cakes. Thick. So we're going to add whipped cream to our cream cheese and brown sugar mixture. But now, Kendrick, we just have to mix it real slowly. So what? Like just, it's called folding it in. I'm trying to get it off. Okay, so the beautiful thing is frozen cakes frost a whole lot better. Okay, come on this side and you may spread that out. So you hold here, let me show you. You hold your knife flat and then you kind of push from the inside out. Oh. And don't scrape it out over the edge too much. Oopsies. Mm-hmm. Okay, you ready? Good job. Thank you. You want me to finish that layer for you? Oh! Look, I dropped a whole bunch. Mom's just making a mess. I bet you will. Yeah, I did. And now we need to do it. Okay. And push down over the side to make it drip kind of down the side. but that's good. So this is a popular cake in our family, and there for a while everybody was requesting it for their birthday, but I don't think we've had it in probably a year, 6 months maybe, because they kind of forgot about it.
Hands are gonna get a little chocolate.
All right, guys, there is our dessert. I may be inspired to make something else to go with the dessert yet, but this is what preparing ahead is all about to me, because instead of feeling rushed today to get everything done, I get to make things pretty and I get to be a little creative. So now this is just gonna go into the refrigerator. Even though the cakes were still frozen, when I frosted them, cakes don't freeze rock solid, so they'll be ready tonight. They won't be frozen anymore tonight when we want to eat them. So to stuff my peppers, I have equal amounts of cream cheese, mayonnaise, and sour cream. And I'm gonna add some of my homemade ranch seasoning. You could add a packet of ranch seasoning. So this is tallow and garlic together, so you'll want to use something that has a high smoke point. For us, that's tallow. You can put big chunks in, Kendrick.
Look! I'm gonna get a cup that I can screw a lid on. Whoa! Mom, can I put it on it and see what it looks like on the inside?
So now that the pork loin is seared on all sides, I'm going to make my honey sauce to put on top of it. So I start with about a cup of honey. I add some Dijon mustard and then some soy sauce. And I don't usually really measure, I just taste until it tastes right. And I'll probably have measurements in my cookbook for you when it comes out next year. And then we're just gonna brush that over top of the pork loin and then put it into the oven at 375, and they should be done in about an hour.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with it.
All right, guys, come and get it.
Can I say roll?